Okay, so let's talk about The Whale. Of course, this is the movie that's been so hyped due to Brendan Fraser's performance in it. So we're going to talk about it. Movie by Darren Aronofsky always means that we probably aren't going to watch this more than once because those movies that just hit Mother, Wrecking for a Dream, Black Swan, do I need to go further? But let's talk about this movie. But before we get into the ending and everything about this movie, I want to go ahead and ask you if you would please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment below your favorite movie of 2022. We are currently having a giveaway. You have 2 days to enter, and we will have a winner announced on December 25th, of course, Christmas Day. So make sure that you are subscribing, number one. That is one way to get in, and also commenting below your favorite movie of 2022. It could even be The Whale. And we are also still crowdfunding our movie that we are working on, a horror slasher film, on Indiegogo down below. We just uploaded a mood reel for this movie, so go check it out on the channel here and go to the Indiegogo link below to find out more. But let's talk about The Whale. So The Whale basically is a stage play, and the movie pretty much plays out in the same way as the stage play and sort of has that play feel for it. And it's kind of interesting. It also comes out with another movie that feels like a stage play this week, which is Women Talking, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. Basically follow Charlie, who is played by Brendan Fraser, who is a 600-pound man who is an English professor, and he does his classes over Zoom, although he does not turn on his camera due to his image and very much so being self-conscious. He does not want his students to see him in this way. He does have only one friend, which is his nurse that comes to visit him and is urging him to get proper care due to heart failure and everything that can come from this, called Liz. Liz is actually really attached to Charlie for other reasons as well, which we'll get into in a bit. You also have Thomas, who comes to visit him every time. Thomas, a New Life Church missionary who is trying to evangelize him, and also you have his pizza delivery driver who follows the same routine of leaving the pizza at the door and collecting the money at the post where he leaves the money, Charlie. And so you pretty much have this whole thing, just Charlie's routine as it goes. One day he decides that he wants to get in touch with his estranged daughter, who he hasn't seen in years, and sort of build a relationship with them. In exchange for this, she will get the money that he has saved up, and she also has to write in a notebook, and she asks him for help in rewriting this essay for school as well. We soon find out as well what exactly caused Charlie to go down this path that he is in, as we find out that he very much so went into this binge eating sort of mayhem after the death of his partner he had left his wife for. And his partner is actually the brother of Liz, and he actually died due to starvation, due to religious guilt that he was feeling out of everything that was going on in their lives at the moment. And they used to be part of New Life Church as well. This is why Liz confronts Thomas about what he is doing to Charlie, and sort of bringing up those emotions as well, as it brings up those memories of her late brother, who was also Charlie's lover. Charlie's health starts declining. He has to be on a wheelchair now, and now his daughter Ellie does put some sleeping pills into his sandwich in order to confront Thomas about what's going on, because Thomas still wants to sort of evangelize her father, and so she tries to get to the bottom of what exactly it is that's happening with Thomas. He reveals that he actually ran away from his home in Iowa, and he had actually stolen much of the money from the youth group there, and so Ellie has secretly recorded this as well to use at a later date. Liz one day actually brings Mary, who is Charlie's ex-wife, and through a heated exchange, it is revealed that Charlie in fact has over $120,000 in the bank account. This makes Liz pretty angry to realize this, because she had been trying to get Charlie to get help, and he had been declining it due to monetary issues. So this makes her storm out. We then see that Charlie and Mary still continue on with their like little discussion they're having, ultimately turns heated, and very much so leaves you with a very broken down Charlie by the end of it, who says they just want to do something right with their life, which was reconnecting with their daughter, as Mary didn't like the whole idea of them secretly meeting and all of this. We then have Thomas visit Charlie once again, and this time he pretty much says that he is going back home. Turns out Ellie did in fact send out the secret recording to his family back home, and they pretty much have forgiven him, so he is okay to go back home, and that was a reason that he hadn't been home. So he tries to sort of have one last talking with Charlie, but Charlie quickly starts to say, like, it's your fault what happened to Alan and all of this, New Life Church, and that quickly just turns sour. We then also have Charlie go on a binge eating. and he's also going to be honest with them as he finally turns on his webcam, and ultimately this leads to him smashing his laptop. We see that Liz comes back to Charlie, tries to sort of be there for him as he is also now nearing his death, and we find that Charlie is now also still trying to get that sort of connection he wants with Ellie. By the end of it, however, Ellie does storm through the apartment as all of this is happening, and she's pretty pissed because the essay she had been asking Charlie to help her with has now been replaced with another essay, which is actually her 8th grade essay on Moby Dick that Charlie says was her most honest essay and it would do better for him. And he actually wants her to read this to him as he is dying, and as he is trying to get up as she is reading it, we are then struck by a light that is pretty much Charlie going to heaven, we can assume, and seeing one last final memory of the family as him and Ellie are just there. So very much so a tale, a movie about, I think, redemption and hiding one's true self and sort of living this life in fear and isolation, and sort of like this like putting on these layers of sort of like trying to hide the truth and everything, as Charlie had been doing all of his life for these years, where he hadn't really connected with Ellie or anything like that, due to the fact that he felt this sort of like shame to himself of who he really was, and he was trying to sort of put that all in the binge eating and sort of like just like fill himself up with these things in order to feel whole again, due to him feeling this loneliness deep inside of him. And I think that's definitely one way to look at it, as well as some of the other characters in here, such as Thomas, who felt this sort of sense of guilt for what he had done in his hometown. And so he felt that the only way he could be absolved from all of this was to sort of become this like person that's going to convert Charlie and sort of become like a sort of hero of sorts for him, in order for him to be without sin of what he believes he had done in his hometown. And it's sort of at the end we sort of see that this kind of is a weird way to approach things, because a lot of the pain that Charlie has been feeling for these years actually came from this church in itself, where we saw that Alan had actually gone deep down in this hole with the church, that he actually ended up losing his life because of it. And I think it plays with a lot of themes about religious guilt as well as redemption, and also just feeling shame for oneself for who they are, due to the perspective of outsiders that don't really have anything to do with your life, but you sort of let that sort of guide you to who you are and not really be who you need to be or who you really are deep down. So I think a lot of those themes are very important here. At the end, I do believe Charlie has died, and I do believe he is just looking back at the memories that made him happy, and as he says, he just wanted to do one good thing with his life. And I think we see that as he sort of has this final connection with Ellie through this piece of writing, and him being an English teacher, that was like one thing that he really resonated with as well. So do I think that Brendan Fraser is going to be nominated? I do believe so. Do I think he's going to win? I think he definitely deserves it. There's a lot of moments in this movie and his performance that was very much so heartbreaking to watch, and I think that is definitely something that is to be considered. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on The Whale, and what do you think about the ending, what do you think about the themes and everything about it in the comments down below. Like I said, we are running our giveaway. All you have to do is be subscribed and comment below your favorite movie of 2022. The giveaway entries will close on the 24th, and on the 25th we will announce a winner. And also we are still funding our horror slasher film, so go check out the Indiegogo link below. Make sure you go check it out, and check out the Mood Reel trailer teaser we have for the movie. I'll play it at the end of this video, but we also have a video on it if you want to go check it out again. It is on the YouTube page. But as always, that's going to do it for us. I'll see all of you next time on the road to 30,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Stay safe, stay positive.